Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the plugins in HTVM, how to make plugins, what are they, and the HTVM marketplace. So this is the HTVM marketplace where you can upload plugins, you can use plugins. Well, here is where you upload the plugins actually. So you would have to clone the repository. Basically you have to fork it first of all, then you go inside, you create your own plugin folder. And then first you have to go inside main. Then you create a version file like 1.0.0 as the name of the folder. You go inside and then you put these files, the plugin.json, index.js, etc., etc. And this is some example snippets. But we're going to go more in depth and we're going to make a plugin today that will basically, we're going to make a plugin that basically we're going to have the type in this next line and the rest in the previous line. You're going to see later. So if we go to the IDE here, we can start making the plugin. So first of all, we need to go to main, and then you can make a new folder. You can make a new folder. We can call it type in next line. Why not? Type in next line. Okay. Now we can go in, make a new folder, 1.0.0, and now we can go inside. And now we should make these files, plugin.json. So I'm going to create a new file, plugin.json, and inside we also need an index.js. So first I'm also going to make that. There we go. And we also need a readme file, readme.md. All right, so here's the basic JSON. So this is the name. So I'm going to rename it to type in next, type on the next line. And then the version, the author, the description, which will be, you can put the type on the next line. There we go. And we can use different hooks. So let's talk about these hooks. So there's many hooks. There is this one, which basically runs after the initial processing of strings, comments, etc., imports, programming blocks. And basically it's much more easier, you know. So we're going to use this one, this hook for that. But you can read more about the others, and we're also going to use these helper variables. There's also some other ones like hook number 10, which adds more built-in functions. So this is how you use it. You just use it like this with nothing. Or like, I guess you add built-in functions, it will return a string. So basically you just put nothing like this. And then, yeah, you're going to return the built-in functions, which you can get from here. And you can see there's this plugin button, there's plugins. You can check the plugins, etc. There is plugin, we can see here, and this is how you install plugins. And when you install them, they'll be here. You need to click on this, save, activate in order, and then it will basically reload the IDE and you're going to have the plugins. So since we're just going to use this one, we're going to do this, and then we can go to the index.js. For that, I'm just going to get this example snippet here of a hook so we can start up. So here we go. But the way I'm going to do it actually is I'm going to actually write it in HTVM because, well, you can easily do that. There's this plugin already installed. So when there's plugins, it will automatically put this on the top of the line. The parser of HTVM will ignore that. So you don't have to worry about this. Like anything that's called like this and there's after HTVM will just ignore that. So we can now make this plugin. I mean, if we have no plugins, this wouldn't be there. So yeah, since we have this plugin activated, meaning that you can use more than one plugin. And we're also going to test our plugin. Anyways, so let's begin. So I guess we're going to start coding. Yeah, inside main. I guess we don't need main. We're going to convert to JavaScript anyways. All right, we're not going to run the JavaScript for now. And let's begin. So first of all, we need to loop parse through the code. And I guess that would be code. I'm assuming each line. This is my syntax of HTVM. I use this as the new line character. So then we're just going to check if, well, actually we need to do more stuff. So we're actually going to parse it twice. I'm going to make an array, a string array, code later, whatever. So here basically I'm going to add, I use add.add, but you know, for adding to array, I'm going to add each line, and at the end I'm going to add an empty line at the end, just in case you're looking ahead to the end. So now what I can do is I can just check if a underscore index, wait, so we got this line. So if, yes, if a underscore index, the index is inside here, yes, of this plus 1 equals to any type. So I guess we can say any type, and it can be a function that we call, and we can make the function as well. I'm just going to put it in main easier. We're going to call it a function, and then we're going to return false by default. Otherwise, true. So how do we know that? So, well, here's the deal. People make their own keywords, right? So we need to actually get them from these variables here. Those help variables. So we need to go to all the types. So here we go. We have the void, double, char, all of these types. There we go. So what we can just do is we can just check if, I suppose we need to actually get a value, which is the next line. Am I right? So I guess this is the next line. If the next line, I'm assuming, we're just going to do a simple else. We just do nothing basically. It will basically do, we need an output variable. So I guess it's already in code, but I'm assuming it's actually modified code. Yes. So we actually need to define it in JavaScript. Let modified code equals nothing, because this is where we're going to paste our HTVM code that converts to JavaScript later. So, all right. So now we can just directly add to this underscore loop field and then 310, the new line. And at the end, I'm just gonna string trim to the right. No, yes, one time. This will just trim the new line. And there we go. So now we can just work with this. So if the next line, and we're also giving the next line, is a type, then I guess what we can do is, oh yeah, that's true, because this checks the next line. So if that's the next line, we can simply do this for now. We can just get what is the next line and put it right here. So we can concatenate this plus this with a space for now. And then what we can do is we're going to have this variable. We're going to call it int one, or like skip. Actually, I don't have to say it's an int because we're doing JavaScript. So we actually don't have to, but I'm going to do it anyways. So basically, we're just going to do int skip equals to 1. So if skip equals to 1, if skip equals to 1, I use 1 equals operator for if statements. That's not by default. I just do it that way. So if it's 1, so I guess we can just check if it's 0. And we can just always make it to be 0. I suppose that is going to work. We're going to find out, I suppose. So now we just need to check. Okay, so I guess we can type it like line. If line equals to keyword. I guess I'm going to trim it just in case. If it's not trimmed. Usually they're not trimmed, so you better trim them. I'm also going to trim the line, which may not be trimmed, which is actually you're supposed to do that. And we can just then return true. We'll just have to do it for all of them. I guess it's better to do else if. Else if is faster. Wait, did I accidentally compile? I think I did that. But yeah, I must have pressed Ctrl plus Enter. Yeah, when you press Ctrl plus Enter, it actually does that. So yeah. Okay, we can put the double, the char, unit 8, unit 16, unit 32. I mean, this might take a while. Int, string, boolean, float, int 8, 16, and 64. Okay. Int 8, 16, 32, 64. That should be all. And there's no else. We don't have to do else. So this should just work. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, but there's more things to it because the user may be using different way of doing this. The user may actually use a way where in HTVM we can customize it to code either with like, let's say int var name and then like equals to something, or they can do var int equals to something. There's these two ways. So this is actually only going to work with this way. What if they do that way? How do we fix that? Well, I guess if they're doing this way, I guess they would still be coding when using the plugin like var1 equals to 5 and then int. So we have to correctly put it there. So how do we do that? Well, what we have to do is basically we need to insert it there. So we need to check. How do we check? Well, we can go here and we can find this variable name, which is basically called use prefix type definition or use postfix. So postfix is the one we need to check if it's on. So simply we can check if, and it's a string, so it's on, then we do that. Otherwise, we do what we just did. So now right here, we need to do this. So how do we do it? So it's a bit more complicated, but we're gonna try. We're gonna make another variable. I guess we can just say etc. var1. I'm just gonna make a var1 because I wanna have a clean variable. I'm gonna empty it, and then I'm gonna just, oh, that's the wrong place, right here. And then I'm gonna loop parse, so the a underscore loop filled by each space. And then I can just check if a underscore index equals to 1, which means that 0 would be the variable name and then 1 would be the next one. So we need to attach it before. So it would be something like var1 dot equal a underscore. I guess we can attach it from the beginning, but anyways. And then all we have to do is just attach this right here with a space, of course, and add the space here as well, I believe. And then for else, we can just proceed as normal, where we just do it regularly. And at the end, we can just, I guess we can just put it like this, cetera string trim right by 1. And I guess this is gonna work. So if you remove this, I'm assuming this is gonna work. So I guess let's convert to JavaScript. And then we have all these built-in functions. So let's just copy everything and put it here. For now, we're gonna remove this main function. Then we're gonna go to top, we're gonna remove this, and then we're gonna grab our function. Obviously, this is an outside function. Actually, all of them are. So we're just gonna put them above here, and this should be the plugin. So how do we test our plugin? Well, let's see. We go to plugins, test local plugins. I need to find it. We were in the marketplace, main, right here, this one, plugin.json. Okay, it should reload our IDE, and then we can call it test.htvm. And then we also need to, yeah, wait, am I using it? I guess I am using it. So let's see, var1 equals to 4 int, and we're going to convert to C++. No, didn't work. Did we even use the plugin? I am not sure. Okay, maybe I need to save. Maybe the plugin didn't work. There any issues? Doesn't seem like it. We may need to do, that's what happens. You have to debug your plugins, of course. Index.js. So we'll return the modified code. Maybe this is not working. If skip equals to 0, skip will always equals to 1 here. Oh, it's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be in here. Yes, that's our problem. I'm assuming. I shouldn't run it. Okay, I guess we can change that in here as well, just in case. Yeah, okay. So now that we have the new index, we can maybe, I guess we can just reload my IDE and try again. I guess it should save the correct place. Convert to C++, still not. Interesting. Maybe I have to reload it or something. Okay, I'm going to deactivate this, and then I'm going to test the local plugin. Yes, this one. Okay, will it work now? No. Interesting. So if it equals to 0, so it will equal to 1, so it will be skipped. Interesting. We get the code, yes, from code. We'll return modified. Can we debug it? Possibly. Maybe. Let's try. Oh, okay. I guess one way to debug it is to go through HTVM itself. HTVM.js. And then we can find the hook, which is HTVM hook 1. This is 11, 10, 1. I guess I can just do this. And then if I run this, this should go here. We get this, and then if I like continue, I guess we didn't get anything. But do we see something like in the I guess if I actually make, if we go here and we make like, we can console.log the modified code, that might help us. I think it will just work without needing to change anything. Let's see. This code? No, this is different. This is the guard. And then there's another one. This is our code. Nice. So actually, yes. Let's actually see what happens. Finally, we can actually debug it. Do we even go here? Let's see. So if I run it, we go here. I don't care about this anymore, actually. Let's see. Will it actually go? Yes. Okay, so we can see our code. We can see what happens here. We can see it all now. Okay, that's good. So we can see what it returns. The modified code. Yes, yes. Okay, I guess we need to check if we ever, do we return false? No, we just need to check if we return true for the regular integer, which is right here. So that should be the case. We actually do come here because the line is int since this happened here. Okay. And what is in modified code? The same? Looks like it's the same. There's a space, but I'm not sure. Interesting. So next we need to check if we ever go into any of the if statements. So we have this if statement, which should be the one that we go inside. So do we ever check this? So I'm gonna go again. I don't need this anymore. We go here, but oh, we go here. Okay, nice. So what is inside of this? I guess there's many things inside here. Here we have int. Okay, it says int. You know, perhaps I need to check my logic. Let's check my logic. Is my logic correct? We have this. So we have an int. We're gonna skip this and we're gonna save in here string trim right, the right side. Yes, that should be correct. We also append that. I see no problem. I don't know what's going on. This is another if statement. This is this if statement, correct? I suppose this actually can stay there because we technically found it, so it doesn't matter if it's here. So that doesn't matter, okay? And then that means when it runs this code, it wouldn't run else first. It will go around again, and then else it will check, so it wouldn't skip. It will skip it because it will equal to 1, so it will be false. That will not happen. Then skip will equal to 0. Because we should have already inserted it. Okay, let's see what happens. What happens right here? We return true, we go inside, we never skipped, we never went here. If postfix is on. Okay, so that means we actually go here, which should be the one. Let's see, do we ever go there? We do. Interesting. This is equal to 1. Okay. 1 is int, correct. And if we look at the, not only this array, but this items array, 0, 1 is int. 1 is int, so we append that to this. I'm also going to go here, so JavaScript is a bit weird, and we can see that it's interesting. It never appended that for whatever reason. This should happen. This should have happened here. Oh, this is interesting. This is the whole thing is like an empty string. 1 plus 1 is 2. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Huh. That's very interesting, actually. Something is going on, apparently. 1. Interesting. Because we're checking, so we need to get, what even is the a underscore index on this line? A underscore index says int, so we have to append the previous line. We should have checked for the later line, but that's what we do here anyways. This shouldn't be an int, this should be the previous line. We check if the next line, interesting actually. We simply just check if the next line is an int. It should be. Something about the indexing is not right. The index is 1, but it's supposed to be 0. Well, this is how you debug. It's interesting, definitely. So when we begin from 0, that's quite interesting. Well, I guess one way to try to fix that then is to look at my code. So we simply go over the code, and then we check immediately. If a underscore index plus 1, that means 1. We never check for 0. That's true. That's actually true. So 0 plus 1 would equal to 1? I mean, yes. So why isn't it even working? It's supposed to work. That's interesting. So let's continue debug this code. The logic makes sense. 0 plus 1 is 1. This will be 0. Interesting. Well, let's continue debugging because it makes no sense. Okay, let's see. So we got true, and then we're already here. Indexing has become 1. This is the whole loop. That is weird. I think I know what's happening, but that doesn't matter. No, that's not happening actually. This is an int. It says int. That's not supposed to be saying int here. It's not supposed to be the int. It should be the first thing ever. It should just check the next line. If the next line, if that's equal, this is empty. Because it's true, it should be empty, but the index should be interesting. Makes 0 sense. It will check if the next is an integer. So, which I guess it does. This makes no sense. Oh, interesting. So this is an integer. This is a string. We're comparing it to a boolean. That makes no sense. Okay, I see the problem. We just need to remove this and we're done. Okay, so if I now reload the IDE, please. Okay, convert to C++. Nope. Interesting. Unless it's not on, I'm going to deactivate it. Maybe it's loaded some old way. Then I'm going to reload it again. Plugins, load this one. Okay, it reloads. Testing. It works. There we go. And if I run this code, it runs. There we go, everybody. We made the plugin work. Nice. So now that we have the plugin, we can remove the test.htvm. I guess we can also remove them. I guess we can keep that. Yeah. And I guess I can just remove this. Then we need to go to the README file. So yes. So for the README file, I guess I'm going to steal from another one. We're gonna go here, test you, get the README file, go back to my README file. So this is the name, so we need to search for that. So this is the, what is is it the same README? Oh, this is from, so we don't need that anymore. Okay, so we go here, we find this. Yes. Okay. Power off. I guess we can explain this. Okay, you can use AI for the documentation, so I can do that. Right. So we're gonna get this new documentation, the README, new README. Okay, I can just do this, but oh yeah, there's a README file. What is happening here? Oh, the README is at the bottom. Is this the README? I guess. We're gonna remove this, and then this should be our README file. Type on the next line, plugin for HTVM, yes. Yeah, so if you do this, then yes, how it works. Yeah, basically. So now we can just git pull just in case, git add, git commit dash m, and a new plugin added, I guess. Git push origin main. I just like that. And it should be done, making sure, because this terminal is not the best. Yeah, so after everything is done, we can just we can go here, deactivate, go to the marketplace. Oh, before that, actually, I forgot something. I'm gonna do this. So when you make a plugin, make a pull request, everything, after that, I need to execute this actually. So I'm just gonna execute that first of all. Now I can actually do this again. Whatever, things happen. Okay, making sure up to date. There we go. And now if we go to plugins, well, maybe we need to reload the IDE first. Well, it doesn't seem to be here. Interesting. Well, there we have it here. Main, there it is. There's a plugin. Interesting. Let me reload everything again. It appears it's not here. We did add it. There we have it. So why is it not working? Plugin.json. Interesting. What if no, it has to be there. Okay, what if I delete this plugin? No changes to save. Nice. Let me reload. It's not here. Unless it is, and it's not showing me. No, but it should be here. Because if we go here, we have 1.0.0, and then we have plugin.json, index.js, and these other files, which shouldn't be a problem, these two files, unless there are. No active plugins. Yes, but what if I copy everything? No. Interesting. Maybe there's a rate limit, but that's impossible. I guess I can like reload the IDE entirely. What the other plugins did. Yeah, this is basic. I did it basically the same. So what is happening here? Okay, I'm gonna remove these files. I'm gonna try again because I see zero problems. No? Oh, there we go. There it is. Interesting. Well, I guess we can install it now and we can test it. Oh, we need to go to the so when we install the plugin, we need to go to install, click right here, save, activate in order, click on OK, it will reload, and now we have the plugin available. So now I can just type something whatever .htbm, and then I can actually use it. var1, this is my language, equals to 5, int, something equals to some string, str. We can actually go even further, make a function or whatever, and the function is a integer function, and we call it another int value, whatever. We then return 5, I guess. Let's see, for example. Let's return 0. And then there's this guard. So if we go to the plugins, we can install this plugin as well. So we can have two plugins actually. So we can also get that, view details, so we can see how this works. As you can see, it just guards the amount. I'm gonna close that, we're gonna save, okay. And now we can use this plugin here. So if, let's say, value is more than 25, otherwise return 5. No, otherwise return value. So we can just call whatever that name is. Then we can also print to see what happens. We can do var1 here, and we can convert to C++ and compile. It says 5. So we have this guard. So what happened here is I just converted this guard if like this. So if it's not more than 25. So now if we make this 38, let's say, it says 0, this number. It guards. So we're guarding, I guess. It's something AI made. It's a cool plugin, I guess. So yeah, that would be for the video. You can use the plugins, make plugins, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I forgot to mention, the IDE is now built, so you can actually install the IDE. You don't need to use NPM anymore. This is a new update. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.